we're going to start talking about figurative language. This is lesson 8. And remember, using figurative language can help just create a stronger, more unique voice in your writing. It adds to the personality, mood, and point of view of the writer or of the characters, okay? And there are some common figurative language strategies that writers use. And there's an acronym that we actually use to help us remember this, and it's called SHAMPOO, and it stands for simile, hyperbole, alliteration, metaphor, onomatopoeia, and oxymorons. Okay, and so we will go more into depth of what each of those are in some of our other lessons, but just remember that those are the basic ones that and then there's a few others that you will be using, and then as you get into higher grade levels, you'll learn more and more of these strategies. So so you'll see here listed as shampoo, and then also there's things like idioms, irony, imagery, symbolism, and puns that are more commonly used figurative language. So again, these are the most common ones that are used. There's a lot more of them. Like there's a whole bunch of them, but these are the ones that we're going to focus on for middle school, and then you'll learn more as you get into higher grade levels. So if you aren't sure what any of these are, make sure you look them up. Try to incorporate some kind of figurative language into your short story somewhere, okay? And maybe read a couple of short stories just to see how other writers incorporate some of these figurative language strategies into their writing. So let's go ahead and watch a short video on figurative language, the shampoo acronym, so that you learn what they are. And then after that, we'll move on.
Figurative language is what writers use to make their sentences more colorful. An acronym to help you remember is called shampoo. It goes a little something like this. The S stands for simile, which uses like or as. Your music is as loud as bombs, I much rather hear jazz. Next up you have the H, which means hyperbole. It's the type of phrase or saying you should not take literally, like the phones rang off the hooks or you could kill with your good looks. Those are two examples that no doubt will leave your reader shook. A is for alliteration, quite the tongue twist complication. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickles, oh my goodness. M, metaphor, helps your reader not be bored. Kinda like a simile, except there's different properties. P, personification, giving our humans human-like creation. Dancing cars and howling wind, sure to make your reader grin. Onomatopoeia, zip, zap, zoom. Words that look like they sound are sure to fill a room. Last but not least is my favorite oxymoron. They're full of contradictions, but each word your reader hangs on. Jumbo shrimp and bittersweet are just to name a few. Include these in your work and your writing will improve. Say it with me now, shampoo, shampoo, shampoo. Say it with me now, say it with me. Shampoo, shampoo, shampoo. Say it with me now, say it with me. Shampoo, shampoo, shampoo. Say it with me now.
All right, so remember shampoo, and we're talking about figurative language. All right, so also in this lesson, you are going to learn about graphic elements. And graphic elements are the typographical features. It's actually how the writing appears on the page. Okay, so you can use italics to show a change in the voice or the thoughts of a character. So basically, if you were showing what a character's thinking and they're not saying out loud, you probably would put that in italics just to show that they're thinking this, okay? You can use section breaks, so you could see right here on the screen, a section break has a little bit more space in here. Now this is not like essays, because in essays you would not do this, but in literary text, like a novel or short story, you could use a little bit more space between paragraphs to signify a shift in time or to show a change to another narrator or location, okay? When you're doing dialogue, that's a little bit different. Remember, for dialogue, you will enter each time a new character starts talking. And we did talk about dialogue in a previous lesson, and I gave you some examples of how to write that dialogue in there. There's in the directions for your portfolio, there is a section on dialogue that actually has some practice sheets on there on how to write dialogue and how to format it. So make sure, and punctuation. And so make sure you take a look at that in that lesson. But remember, you are writing a short story for this unit. And so you probably should already be writing it. I did recommend that you guys start it at the beginning of the unit and write, and then go back and edit and revise and have time to reread it. Sometimes what I like to do is write something and then put it down and leave it for a day or 2 days and then go back to it and reread it a couple of days later, just because it helps you to see, oh wait, that didn't make sense, or wait a minute, I think I'm missing something here, or this transition's not really good, or that's not really conveying the meaning that I want to come across, or man, I'm not sure the theme is actually coming through on this at all. So just make sure that you go back, and guys, you cannot just write a short story and then just turn it in. You have to write it. You have to reread it several times. It's a good idea to have someone else look at it, read it out loud. It makes a difference to hear your writing and hear it out loud. Record yourself reading it. Use one of those screen the readers, the ones that will read it out loud to you. Word and Google Docs, I think, both have the capability to do that. And there's extensions, Google extensions out there that will do read alouds for you on different things. So just use the tools that you have. When I was in school, I did not have all of these tools that you guys have now. So just make sure that you're using your tools. Make sure you're adding in that figurative language. Again, if you aren't sure what any of the figurative language types that we've talked about are, make sure you look them up on the internet. There are plenty of videos and documents and explanations on the internet that will show you, and examples that show you the different types of figurative language. All right, guys, have fun writing.